Do you have any songs without highway in the title? What's up everybody, Jared here with another Outlaws on the Run movie review. Now if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell icon to stay up to date on this channel's newest reactions, reviews, and ridiculousness. So I went and checked out the new Bonnie and Clyde film on Netflix, The Highwaymen. Two former Texas Rangers join forces to try to capture the notorious outlaws Bonnie and Clyde. So is The Highwaymen a nice change of perspective on this Bonnie and Clyde story? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of The Highwaymen in the comments down below. Was this a nice buddy cop road trip movie, or was this just another Netflix pump and dump movie? Now let's get into some of the good. Looking at the recipe for The Highwaymen, this is a wonderful cast with Woody Harrelson, Kevin Costner, even Kathy Bates, and then this story of Bonnie and Clyde, kind of taking it from a different perspective, not really following them, following the Texas Rangers that went after them. Plus, this is a Netflix movie, so usually with Netflix movies, they let the filmmaker kind of pump in their own creativity, their own flair, so this was a great recipe for a fantastic film. However, The Highwaymen is dull, it drags on, it has little to nothing to offer. The time era that they established was one thing that probably stood out to me, kind of from the architecture, the automobiles, the clothing, the guns, kind of everything about this early 1900s aesthetic really got me into this time era. Kind of, it was, I would say, a simpler time, but that was probably one of the standouts in this movie. I'll also give a nod to some of the performances. Costner and Harrelson, they do a fine job, you know, whatever the screenplay, whatever the director wanted from them, they turned in on this role. I will say that Kathy Bates was probably the standout in my opinion. I mean, she only has maybe 3 scenes in this actual movie, but playing Ma Ferguson, I think the governor that really gets these guys back into the game, she was probably the highlight here. However, man, like I said, The Highwaymen is a dull film, and it kind of follows these familiar beats in a story like this. Like, it's this guy that's kind of like retired, someone goes and tries to persuade him to go after these people, then his wife's like, you better not do it. Then obviously he takes the job, he's out of his element, he's out of his game, he's older. Then he has this partner that is, you know, they're an unlikely duo. They get back together and they go after this Bonnie and Clyde, these characters, and kind of try to like make a new name for themselves. I mean, we've seen it before. It does play out very slowly. You want it to kind of get some more action, I would say, but yeah, it's a very slow burn movie. And since this is kind of like a buddy road trip cop movie or whatever, you'd think that the banter between these two characters, Harrelson and Costner, would be witty, would be fun, would be entertaining. Well, unfortunately, no. The screenplay is pretty much just giving them exposition to kind of set up the next scene, to set up exactly what they're doing. It's boring, it drags on. It's, you know, you want some character, you want some personality from these characters, but they are just given nothing but dull line after dull line. And after a while, you kind of lose interest. You want some sort of little nugget or story between these characters to further their character development, their relationships, to really build up their character. But it's not there. And I wasn't fully on board on how they really handled Bonnie and Clyde in general. Obviously, they're kind of like these faceless ghosts, outlaws in this film, and you don't really get to see them throughout pretty much the whole movie. Instead, it's focusing on these 2 Texas Rangers, the FBI, the other people that are after Bonnie and Clyde, and they're very much kind of handled in this like very negative light. And I think from what I know, they were kind of like a non-conventional Robin Hood type person or characters, and in this they really paint them as very much evil. One last thing was a scene that was not meant to be funny at all. I thought it was hilarious. There was a shootout between some characters. The shootout is pretty much done, but then they just keep unloading. There's like 300 more rounds shot. Maybe that's how history was, maybe that's what they were mapping or using as a point of reference, but it was just I thought it was nothing but comical. Like, I'll try to do a reenactment here.
2 hours later.
Overall, The Highwaymen is just another Netflix movie, with some signs of life and some decent performances, but with a dull script following some familiar beats and very much painting Bonnie and Clyde in this odd light. I'd go ahead and skip out on The Highwaymen. There are much better Bonnie and Clyde stories, movies out there. Go and watch one of those. In closing, I'm going to give The Highwaymen 2 out of 5 Tommy guns. So what did you think of the Highwaymen? I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos over there, you know, trailer reactions, movie reviews, fun comedy skits. I should have another JB classic dropping early next week, so be on the lookout for that. Follow all of my social media stuff, click that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, stay up to date on this channel's everything, all that jazz. Until next time, I'll see you later.